Alright guys, welcome back. And today there's going to be another walk and talk in the woods. And today, recently I've been thinking about this whole situation that's been going on, the virus in the world again. It's everywhere at the minute, it's absolutely everywhere, it's all over the news. Governments are dealing with it in different ways. Like in the UK especially, we've got 4 countries, so we've got Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland and England dealing with it differently, so they're easing lockdowns different ways, doing different things. Considering we're meant to be a United Kingdom, none of us all seem to be on the same page. You know, where I live in England, they've started to ease lockdowns a little bit, and you can go out a bit further, doing your exercise and that. Still got to keep social distancing and what have you. But it's made me think about how the government's been dealing with the situation, financially wise. They have been pumping money into the system to deal with this problem, like saying they've, for argument's sake, they've invested in the Nightingale hospitals, some in London, there's one in Birmingham, and they're investing in people being furloughed and stuff, which is great. You know, they're investing in testing kits and one thing and another, which is what the government should do, you know, looking after the people that put them in power. But I was thinking about the money they were spending. I mean, they are spending billions of pounds on this problem, but it got me thinking about how governments spend money, and how governments spend money, shall we say, to keep certain people in power and keep certain financial organisations going. Because I think back to 2008 with the financial collapse or financial crisis, shall we say. Sorry guys, just adjust you. And it was funny how the British government could spend hundreds of billions of pounds bailing out financial industries, like the banks and that, and keep the economy going, which is understandable. You can understand why they did it, what they needed to do it for. But then it makes me think, well, why haven't they spent that kind of cash in protecting people's lives? In this, we know the situation. And it just got me thinking how governments have a tendency maybe not to care about the people that put them in power as much as they're letting on. Now, I believe that some people in the government do, but I think government as an entity as a whole don't. Because if they can spend £400 billion, over £400 billion, sorting out the economy, 12 years ago, why can't they spend that money on the British people, looking after their safety? But they're quite happy sending people out to work to keep the economy going. And it makes me wonder, you know, why? Now I understand why, like I said, I understand why they did it, but why can't they do it for the British public? And I think it just goes to show another element of how cheap human life is, to be honest with you. Because governments are quite willing to send people out to work, not to lock them down for their own safety. Now I know you could get onto the whole fact that, well, you know, you don't want to get into a totalitarian state being policed. It's in 1984 and all that kind of stuff, which I understand. But still, investing money, hundreds of billions of pounds to help fight this virus, well, I would have thought it would be more important than saving banks. But maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just an idiot and thinking that banks are more important and human life isn't. So anyway, that's that little bit of rant over with. Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it does, it can infuriate you, it can get me back up, shall we say, that people don't seem to realise what governments do, you know, how cheap they are really when it comes to our lives. Yeah, they're doing a bit, I'm not denying what they've done, but they could have done so much more, you know. And I understand the system with supply and demand, so like testing kits and stuff where they do need to get them ordered, get them made and all that kind of stuff. That's understandable, but you don't understand why contingency plans aren't affected more quicker, put into practice more quicker, because I'm thinking they have plans for everything, but these plans are never put into practice most of the time, because half the time you think about it, you think it's never going to happen. You think it's never going to happen. That's been the mentality, I think, of a lot of places, a lot of governments, a lot of people think that, oh, it won't happen to us. Which is fair enough, because most of the time you go about your daily life and nothing happens. But sometimes there's that one thing that does happen, like this virus. That's why I prepped, to be honest with you, because you just never know. I mean, I know people thought I'm crazy and I'm a little bit silly for doing it, but I haven't had to worry about this situation at all. I've got the gear that I need to stay safe, got the gear that I need to supply to the family, and I know that gives me a little bit of peace of mind about what's going on. You know, I don't have to worry that when I do go to the shops I can get geared up with my mask and my gloves, what I need to do, and get my wash station sorted out in the car and one thing and another, and dispose of my gloves properly, my masks properly, make sure there's no cross-contamination and things. And these are the stuff that I think people laugh at you at when you start prepping. You know, you're thinking, why bother? When will that ever happen? Name a circumstance when that will ever happen. And it's funny how the circumstances is happening, and people be going, oh, I see why you were doing that now. But anyway, that's enough of that rant. I have gone on long enough now, but I'm going to be doing a few bushcraft skills again today, and I'll show you a little survival technique on how to gather water. But yeah, so I'll bring you back in a minute, guys. What I'm going to show you today, guys, is how to make a gypsy well, or it could be known as an Indian well or a sip well, and it's just a survival technique really to gather some water in dire situation. And what we're in here is a small little stream that's dried up, but what it is, there's still water in this little stream underneath the surface. So what we're going to do, we're going to dig a little hole, or a little pit should I say, and that pit is going to allow water to flow into it, and it's water we can gather and also process down, so we can filter it, and also we can disinfect the water as well. So I don't know if you see, there's a bit of moisture here, guys, so I'm just going to do the hole. As you can see, it's quite you can see how quick the water is. This hole's filling up with water. Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle. Okay guys, don't be afraid to get your hands in. All I'm using, I think, my little foraging shovel that I've got here. I've got it in the kit. Let's see, guys, how quickly this is filled up. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this for a bit, and we'll let the sediment settle in it. And then what we'll do, we'll come back and we'll do the first clear out of water. I've got a little cup and we'll just clear that out with water, then let that fill up again, and each time we do it, the water should get clearer and clearer for us to be able to filter and disinfect. Well, I think the soil around it itself, when the hole fills up, acts like a bit of a filter anyway. But you've got to remember that this is not drinkable as is now. Okay guys, this has been settling for about an hour now, and as you can see, that's filled right up and it looks quite clear. So all we're going to do now is very gently, very carefully start scooping out the water out the hole, because what we don't want to do is start disturbing the sediment in it that's in there. When you scoop the water out, you want to make sure it's away from the hole. Now, so what we'll do, we'll let that fill back up again, let it settle and see how we get on. Okay guys, this is filled up again. I don't know if you can see how clear that water is with the camera. Try my best. I'll put some green shoots in there. You can see them under the water there, hopefully. Alright, so that's just we won't clear out our water. How clear that is. Now this is never going to be like tap water. You know, you're always going to get maybe a certain murkiness to it. But in a survival situation, this could save your life. Okay guys, this is as clear as the water is going to get. Now what you can do with this, you can put it through a millbank bag or a brown bag and filter it through that way, then disinfect your water through boiling it. But this is clear enough for me to run it straight through my filter. And always be careful when you're scooping it off the top. You don't want to disturb any more of the sediment into the water. And remember guys, this isn't going to be 100%. Some properly. There we go. Midges are everywhere now. Get that flush through. Tastes absolutely fine, that does. There's no tangliness, no nasty taste to it, just tastes of clear water. Oh, at least now something I've got something now to make a brew with. Okay guys, that's our Gypsy Well. If you run up here, you'll see that this is the little stream that's dried up. Now you can also find water in marshy, boggy areas as well. And if you'd use the same technique, you should be able to get yourself some water. Turn them down. Hi guys, finally got a brew on because I'm gagging for a coffee at the minute. Thanks for watching the video to this point. If you want to give us a thumbs up, it'd be great. If you want to subscribe, it'd be even better. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook because we post on there on a regular basis. Hopefully you kind of like the rant that I went on earlier on at the start of the video. Leave your comments below if you disagree or agree with it or got any other thoughts on it. So stay safe out there guys, and I'll see you on the next one.